Hey ho, y'all! Jack Collins here, back at it again with another video. And this time we're gonna do another Muppet video. Yay! But this time it's gonna be about my favorite subject besides the Muppets. Well, I have other favorite subjects too, but this one is special to me because it's video games. And that specific genre / medium of video games being fighting games. That's right, from Street Fighter to Mortal Kombat to Killer Instinct and, well, pretty much all of the above. I've played every fighting game known to man. And honestly, there's some that really stick out, like Anarchy Reigns. I really like that one. Ooh, how about Power Stone? I love Power Stone. Yeah, Power Stone's awesome. But anyways, what do fighting games and Muppets have in common? Absolutely nothing. I love fighting games, and I love the Muppets, so I sat down and said to myself, why not make a video about both topics? Or kind of just make a Muppet fighting game because, well, why not? There's already a huge roster of Muppets, like there's so many of them. As for the Muppets being in a fighting game, I decided to rule out the Sesame Street characters and Fraggle Rock characters except for two, but we'll get to them in a moment. As for the Muppets themselves, yeah, I could totally see them being in a fighting game. They have all the random cartoon slapstick chicanery that you'd expect out of a fighter like Peacock or something like that. And they each have unique talents that make for a good moveset in a fighting game. Especially Miss Piggy. I mean, she can literally fight if you've seen any scenes from the movies or the shows. Or really, you know, any of the scenes where she's beating up Kermit and Gonzo. In fact, I could just see that as the cover. Her just beating up Kermit, Gonzo, and Fozzie. That'd be absolutely hilarious. As for why I left Sesame Street and Fraggle Rock out, simply put, I don't want to see Grover strangling Mr. Johnson, or Cookie Monster beating the crap out of Elmo. It just doesn't feel right, and I feel like those are the type of characters you wouldn't want to put in a fighting game. And the Fraggles don't really fight except for one. I'll get to her in a bit. Same with that certain Sesame Street character. I wonder who he could be. Now, as for the Muppets' history in video games, they've had many games in the past. A lot of them good, and a lot of them bad. With some of my favorites being Muppets Monster Adventures, and Spy Muppets Licensed to Croak. But they never had any fighting games, which honestly sucks, seeing as how there's so much potential here. Well, I'm here to make that potential happen as I've made awesome movesets to share with you guys. So it's about time to get things started on the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, fighting invitational fighting game with the characters who will be on the roster and their movesets. Just, don't kill Angus McGargoyle, he'll be left out of the roster, okay? What fighting game wouldn't be complete without the main character? There would be no Street Fighter if it wasn't for Ryu, and there'd be no Mortal Kombat if it wasn't for Liu Kang, and there'd be no Muppets if it wasn't for Kermit the Frog. Do I even need to explain how iconic he is? No? Well, okay, we all know Kermit, but how would he fight? Luckily, I came up with a moveset that could answer all these questions and a little bit more. So, let's get into it, shall we? For his jab, I imagine he'd have a lot of banjo wax, similar to how El Kabong from Hanna-Barbera uses his guitar. Only this time it'd be multiple wax, and Kermit would kind of be using it like a club of sorts or a baseball bat. Now, as for specials, the neutral special of course will be music notes, where Kermit plays musical notes from his banjo which can hurt opponents and also stun lock them. For his up special, it's the doo-wop hop, where Kermit bounds and leaps in the air to escape his opponent's attacks, and can also bounce off their heads if the button is pressed again. The side special would be tongue pull. Because he's a frog, Kermit can pull opponents in with his tongue for some close-up attacks, and it could also work as a grappling hook. The down special is a frog yell, where Kermit yells at the opponent to get off the stage! This works and the opponent is sent flying off stage and into the nether below. And now for his special move, which is cut, where he directs the movie which falls on the opponent like the end of the Muppet movie. He then slaps his forehead and says, good grief. Now for Piggy, she's probably going to be a Shoto. We all know this by now. Once you throw hands with Piggy, there's no going back. You will lose. So of course her neutral special is going to be Hi-ya! Where she lets out a karate chop which can send opponents flying, and can be charged into a bigger chop which causes shield damage and also stun block, which leads her to beat down on you. Her up special is the up pork cut, where Piggy is a Shoryuken which sends opponents flying into the air, and it can be done again for striking damage. Her side special is a roller skate tackle, which is of course a reference to Muppets Take Manhattan, where Piggy goes on roller skates and tackles down the opponent for the thrashing of their lives. Her down special is the Ham Slam, where Piggy grabs the opponent and slams him down on the ground repeatedly, causing tons of stun and strike damage, and can also break shields. Her special is the Swine Down for the Ages, where the opponent receives the beating of a lifetime from Miss Piggy, who comes in with multiple punches and kicks before sending the opponent to the geek farm with one last karate chop like she did with Gonzo in that one episode.
And hiya, now we finally get to the comedian of the act, Fozzie Bear, waka waka.
This moveset has a lot of comedic potential, but don't tell Statler or Waldorf or they might roast him. His neutral special is the Pie Throw, where Fozzie can throw pies as fast as he can at the opponent. The pie can also work up close for extra stun damage, so a pie in the face can work, and then you just go in with the side special, the Cane Drag, where Fozzie pulls the opponent off stage with a cane and throws them off stage. It can also be used as a grappling hook in tight scenarios. The down special is the Hat Pull, where Fozzie attempts to pull something out of the hat, leading to a bunch of rabbits popping out and attacking the opponent. His up special is the Dummy Slap, where Fozzie grabs his dummy from a box and slaps you with it, and it can also work to block projectiles, like Lucy wins fish. And Fozzie's special is, how about this last one? He dashes out of the way in time for the opponent to get hit by multiple things for a failed comedy bit, with a roast from Statler and Waldorf on top of all of that. The thrown items include tomatoes, fish, and an avocado.
Next up is the Great Gonzo, who will perform a death-defying act which includes being in a fighting game, haha!
For Gonzo's up special, it's going to be the Jackhammer Pogo Stick from the Roy Clark episode. Gonzo bounces around on the pogo stick, which causes the ground to shake. If he bounces on the opponent, it's an immediate stun lock for more moves. His neutral special is the Knife and Bowling Ball Throw, where Gonzo throws a bunch of knives at the opponent, followed by a bowling ball, which can also charge up into a cannonball, which he can throw back for huge knockback damage. His side special is Wrestler's Charge, where Gonzo will charge forward and grab the opponent while blindfolded and slam them into the ground, causing a lot of damage. His down special is the 1,000-pound weight and piano toss. Gonzo grabs the 10,000 pound weight he used to hypnotize himself in that one episode and tosses at the opponent, followed by the piano, doing a massive amount of damage on both ends. And Gonzo's special is, of course I do, I'm an artist! He does his most depraved and insane act, shooting the opponent out of a can into a cage of rabid badgers and piranhas, which comically maul them to death. Sorry for my mock Swedish, I hope it was good for the camera. Anyways, Swedish Chef's neutral special consists of the Blunderbuss, where Swedish Chef aims and fires his blunderbuss at the opponent, causing knockback and piercing damage, and it can also be charged into a cannon for a cannonball shot that can cause knockback if the cannonball is hit at the opponent. His side special is Rolling Pin Frenzy, where a Swedish Chef, while wielding 2 rolling pins, charges headfirst and bonks the opponent multiple times, causing a lot of stun damage. His down special is Frying Pan Punish, where a Swedish Chef grabs a comically large frying pan and whacks the opponent with it, causing massive amounts of knockback. If the opponent is far away, it can cause a shockwave that causes knockback as well. The up special is a spatula toss, where a Swedish Chef uses a comically large spatula to flip the opponent up like a pancake or a burger, causing him to fly up in the air and land onto the ground stunned. This causes major stun damage as well as leaving the opponent open for other attacks that the Chef can use at his disposal. And as for a special attack, it's Special of the Day, where a Swedish Chef is making some sort of stew or consomme. When he opens the pot, multiple random things come out of it, including but not limited to the lobster banditos, rats, a moose, and a whole army of chickens were ready to attack the opponent as they do in a cartoonish fight cloud, as it all ends with the chef himself whacking the player with a frying pan and the opponent having stars over their head like a cartoon.
And then there is Constantine, the world's most dangerous frog. You want the moveset? I give you moveset better than any fighting game will give you.
Constantine's neutral special is Gun. Constantine packs heat as he shoots bullets at the opponent that could stun like them, as well as put black smoke all over their face comically, a la Daffy Duck from Looney Tunes. His side special is Metal Chop, where Constantine dashes forward towards the opponent for a brutal metal jaw bite, causing a lot of piercing damage if he doesn't let go. His down special is Door Slam, where Constantine slams the door into the opponent's face, which causes a huge amount of stun lock, allowing for him to do more brutal attacks for his sick pleasure. His up special is Deadly Leap, where Constantine bounds up in the air but then leaps down to his opponent for a series of deadly kicks, which ends with them kicking them down for not only stun lock damage but also striking damage. His Constantine special is Gulag Explosion, where he is seen slapping the opponent with his own ball, which leads the opponent to getting thrown into the gulag, which Constantine blows up while he's laughing as he says, "It's not easy being mean." And then there's Johnny, Fiamma, and Sal. Luckily, I found a moveset for them on the Tough Pigs Discord by another user. So essentially, I asked the other user if it was okay if I could use it. They said yes, and yeah, I think that's how it happened. Alright, anyways, let's continue on with the moveset, shall we? The neutral special is the cannoli toss, where Johnny holds a plate of cannolis that Sal rapidly tosses at enemies for small bits of damage. You can slowly move back and forth once it's activated. The side special is Screen Dash, where the duo ride a TV screen on wheels, smashing into enemies. It works similar to Bowser Jr.'s Cloud Card ride from Smash Bros. Down special is Vanilla Swing, where Johnny swings Sal around like a tornado. If used in midair, it lifts him up a bit. Up special is Fiamma Throw, where Sal throws Johnny into the air using his microphone cord as he pulls up Sal after him. Johnny and Sal's special is Pose for the Camera. The opponent is bombarded with cameras and flashing lights as Johnny poses for the cameras while Sal beats up the opponent for bumping into Johnny, while Johnny cheers on Sal.
Hola, this is Pepe the King Prawn, okay? And this is Richard the Rat, and we're gonna explain our moveset.
No, you guys, I'm gonna explain your moveset.
Oh, see, go ahead, okay? Yeah, we want to see what this guy does to explain our moveset.
Now for their neutral special, Cheese with a side of prawns, Rizzo begins to bombard the opponent by throwing cheese at them before he throws Pepe at them, doing some massive ranged damage. The side special,
Feel my muscles, okay?
Pepe, wearing a six-pack, dashes forward for a bunch of punches, followed by Rizzo who bites the opponent hard. The move does piercing and striking damage. The up special is the Ratocopter, where Rizzo and Pepe, using a homemade mini-copter made of junk, fly over the opponents. This can also be used for escape attacks as well as to gain recovery. The down special is traps a la Rizzo and Pepe. Pepe and Rizzo place mouse and shrimp traps on the ground, causing piercing damage to anyone who walks on them. And for the Pepe and Rizzo special,
Under the left, okay?
Pepe and Rizzo do a Mexican hat dance, and Pepe whacks the opponent with a guitar while Rizzo puts the hat on them and stomps on them repeatedly for good measure, ending the move as they both pose together. Okay, that's pretty much it for Pepe and Rizzo. Now for the Electric Mayhem's main drummer. You know him, you love him. It's Zoot. Who am I kidding? He's not a drummer. It's Animal, guys. Animal like being mentioned. Animal's neutral special is Animal Bite, where Animal bites the opponent hard, causing a lot of piercing damage as a result of this drummer's deadly jaws. His up special is Bad Opponent, where Animal leaps up and tackles down the opponent, beating them up in a cartoon fight clouds. This causes major striking damage. His down special is Drum Throw, where Animal throws a snare drum at the opponent, causing their heads to be stuck and to be stunned for more attacks from this delusional drummer. His side special is Aminal Slaminal, where Animal charges forward and aggressively headbutts the opponent, causing a stun lock before he then grabs them and slams them against the ground, causing them to be stuck a la the King K. Rool down throw. Animal special is Animal Win, where Animal plays a drum solo that's so electrifying that it shocks the opponent, and proceeds to kick down his drum sound, causing them to fall on the opponent, and then clashes their head with his cymbals, yelling out victory. Animal Win! And now let's get to the Muppets' biggest ogre of the crew, or rather, biggest guy, Sweetums! I think I want a spot in this fighting game as much as I do want to go to Hollywood. That's a little bit of my Sweetums right there. I don't think it's that bad, but yeah, he'd be a pretty good heavy for this roster along with Thog, but let's get into his moveset, shall we? Sweetums' neutral special is Ogre Punch, where Sweetums does a punch that does a lot of knockback and sends the opponent flying back. Charged up to send the opponent flying off the stage, a la Donkey Kong's Charge Punch in Smash Bros. His side special is Club Whack, where Sweetums pulls back his club and lands a brutal whack on his opponents. Hold the button down for a swing which increases in striking damage, stuns your enemy, and throws him off the stage. His up special is Hey guys, wait for me! Where Sweetums spins in the air with both fists for a punching tornado in the air with two suitcases in his hands for extra knockback damage, kinda like Donkey Kong's up smash. His down special is Gotcha, where Sweetums stomps on the ground, then sends a massive shockwave that lets him grab the opponent and throws him off the stage for extra throwing damage. His special is the Big Blowout, where Sweetums chases the opponent into a giant hole in the ground which spawns as the opponent stops, but then is plunged into the hole by Sweetums' foot, then blown up as they get comically covered up in smoke and from the electricity. That final move was a reference to the Great Muppet Caper, specifically where Sweetums falls into the giant manhole and gets electrocuted. I always find myself laughing, but feeling out of pity for the poor guy. I mean, no one can survive an injury like that but Sweetums. Luckily it was cartoon violence, or else he would have really gotten hurt. And it's the movie, so nobody really gets hurt. And now for the Muppets' biggest monster, Thog. As you can see, I had to add this guy in as the second heavyweight. I mean, who wouldn't? He's a pretty adept dancer, and probably one of the few Muppets who I think can throw down if you piss him off enough. Luckily, he's not pissed off, he's just a happy blue fella. His neutral special is Shall We Dance, where Thog grabs the opponent and spins around and throws them off stage, causing knockback damage. His side special is Hug of Pain, where Thog dashes over and hugs the opponent, painfully cracking their bones for extra shield-breaking damage. His up special is Accidental Smack, where Thog accidentally smacks the opponent and sends them flying away with a sorry. This deals major knockback damage. His down special is Stomp Till You Drop, where Thog releases a major stomp that does bigger shockwaves and is hard to dodge, as it does brutal knockback damage if it hits. His final special is the Destructive Finish. Thog stomps around the area for your opponent as he chases them and finally squishes them as a boulder falls on them. And now, Muppet Labs' favorite punching bag, or the guy who wears Bunsen's clothes, Beaker! Yeah, I feel like Beaker would probably be a really fun character addition to a fighting game. Just a character with all these mad gadgets who is basically just like a scientist type gone mad. I think Beaker would be just perfect for that sort of archetype. He's just a silly, fun character that I feel like would be fun to base a moveset off of. Now for Beaker's neutral special, it's the Robot Rabbit attack, where Beaker throws a carrot forward and gets a Robot Rabbit to attack, causing some striking damage. Then there's the Sharpened Banana Toss, where Beaker tosses a sharpened banana at the opponent, which can pin them to the wall as well as do slicing damage. You can toss one of them or hold down the button to toss multiple of them. This move can also be spammed. His up special is the Platform Shoe Stomp, where Beaker goes on his platform shoes and walks around to stop the opponent for stunlock and striking damage. His down special is the Electric Sledgehammer Strike. I got stuck on that for a second. Beaker puts down the Electric Sledgehammer machine, which can roll over and smash the opponent so they can be put into a stunlock. Beaker's special is the Muppet Labs Onslaught, where Beaker uses every Muppet Labs invention from the milking machine to get laxatives in the milk to compress them with the luggage compressor. Ending it off with him eating a growth pill and stomping on the opponent, followed by an evil series of me's. That's essentially his evil laugh. Though sadly, I don't see Beaker becoming evil, and that's a good thing, but if you were pushed too far, that's probably where he'd probably end up. I don't know. And now we're down to our second to last main roster fighter, with that ham of an actor, Link Hogthrob.
Yes, I always want to be a part of this fighting game. Mostly to hopefully impress Miss Piggy, and also Dr. Strange Pork. I don't know why I forgot his name for a sec there. That actor's mind can really make you forget, huh?
His neutral special is the Bacon Bit Blaster, where Link shoots a series of shots from his laser pistol as he charges up a final shot that does a massive range damage and shock damage if hit. His side special is the Pork Saber Slash, where Link dashes forward mightily and does dozens of slashes with his Pork Saber as this deals major cutting damage as well as striking damage. His up special is the Ham Pack, where Link puts on his Ham Pack, which is a pig-themed jetpack, and flies in the air. But when pigs fly, they also fall. So get ready for an overheating, exploding jetpack experience that also causes major burn damage as well as flame damage. Kinda like Diddy's jetpack special in Smash Bros. Down special, Oink Explosion Grenades. Link grabs a couple grenades and rolls them over for the opponent for massive damage that will turn them into roasted pork ribs with an explosion so big that even Miss Piggy would probably see it from afar on the SS Strange Pork. I don't know why I call the ship that, but it's a yummy way to die. And the Link Hogthrob special, a very soft landing. Link and Strange Pork are seen piloting the Swine Trek, there we go, that's the name, when all of a sudden they run out of gas and are sent plummeting to the ground below, where they land on the opponent with a mighty crash and turn them into pulled pork. Now that is a very Porky special that even Porky Pig would say that's all folks too. I love puns. And now for our final fighter on the main roster, we present to you the fish-throwing funny guy, Lou Seawind.
He always throws them away and he brings them right back.
I feel like he'd make for a fun zoner because his whole aspect is just like throwing fish, and I thought it'd be hilarious to just have him as the last character and not anybody notable. I don't know, I just like the guy a lot. I like Lou. I'm biased towards fish throwers, as you can see. Alright, now on to Lou's moveset. For his neutral special, it's I throw him away, and I bring him on back. New Zealand throws 2 boomerang fish at the opponent that can come back for extra damage if the button is pressed again. It can be useful against melee or trap opponents, kind of like Batman's Batarang in Multiverses. His side special is Holy Mackerel, where Lou throws a giant mackerel at the opponent, causing them to be stunned and also causes striking damage. The up special would be Dolphin Toss, where Lou throws a giant dolphin up in the air and it comes careening down on the opponent, causing strike damage and some knockback. Sorry, Flipper! His down special would be the Piranha Bowl, where Lou rolls a couple piranhas at the opponent, causing the piranhas to bite them, causing shield breaks and piercing damage. Yeah, that's gonna cause a few marks. His special is Something Fishy, where Lou throws a bunch of types of fish at the opponent, ending in when throwing a giant whale at the opponent, causing them to crash comically through the stage as a result. Lou then dances with his fish as the fight is now over. That's probably going to be his victory screen, don't quote me on that one. Alright, now for the DLC characters, I spent a long time thinking about who I can add. And of course, I wanted to add characters from the other 2 franchises. That means Sesame Street and Fraggle Rock respectively. But my problem is, I couldn't really find characters that could be willing to fight. Well, until I found that clip of Grover threatening Tim Daly to fight on Jimmy Kimmel, that I got the idea, what if some other character was in the game just like him? There's a good idea. And as for Fraggles, well, of course, I thought about Red because she'd be most willing to throw hands, seeing as how she has that tomboy temper. And I'm like, yes, that's perfect! It's perfect for a fighting game like this. And as for Grover, well, let's just say another super idea came to my mind, and thus the 2 DLC characters are Super Grover from Sesame Street and Red Fraggle from Fraggle Rock. Let's see how they would get into the fray, shall we? Now for Super Grover's moveset, his neutral special is Super Punches, where Super Grover winds back his fist Popeye style and lands a punch on the opponent followed by some brutal punches which causes striking damage and some knockback. Kind of like Superman for Multiverses. His side special is Super Grab, where Super Grover speeds over fast and then grabs your opponent before spinning him around then throwing them in the air. This takes him off the stage and causes a lot of knockback damage. His up special is Up, Up, and Away, where Super Grover flies in the air and flies around the stage and can perform various fighting tricks such as the loop-de-loop and corkscrews to do repetitive damage on the opponent. Hey, that's kind of like Superman for Multiverses. His down special is Yeah! Where Super Grover crashes down on the opponent, as he's seen with his head comically stuck in the ground as he tries to pull it out. If he lands onto the opponent, it causes a lot of knockback, can shield break, and can cause major striking damage. And if he's stuck, he's very much open to various attacks. So, kind of not like Superman for Multiverses. And for his Super Grover special, he has the Super Grovers of the Multiverse Unite, where Super Grover unites his fellow furry, cute, and blue friends including Super Grover 2.0, Iron Monster, Frank Miller's Super Grover, edgy 90s Liefeld Super Grover, his evil twin from their dimension Super Gleep, Super Grouch, Super Elmo, and Jim Lee Super Grover to beat the crap out of the opponent and travel back in their comic books, with edgy 90s Super Grover saying, "Don't call me again, my segment got cancelled." It's a reference to like the Crimson Chin episode where all the chins from the multiverse beat up the Nega Chin. Remember that episode of Fairly Odd Parents? No? Anyone? Okay, sorry for getting off topic. It's back to the Muppets fighting game. We're back. And now for the second DLC character and the final character in the game, Red Fraggle. Now for Red, I wanted to do a moveset that went into her sports side and her energetic side, while also kind of not doing another brawler character like I did with a lot of the others. So she's very much a jack of all trades. You'll see in a bit. Her neutral special is the Radish Throw, where Red throws a radish in the air, which slams into the opponent and does some knockback and stun damage, kind of like Olimar when he pulls out a turnip in Smash Brothers. Okay, that's not a turnip, that's probably a radish, but whatever. Her side special is Spin, Spin, Spin. Red spins around and accidentally hurts her opponent, sending them hurtling off the stage for some knockback, kind of like Banjo-Kazooie's Charge. Her up special is Vine Swing Kick, where Red swings from a vine and kicks the opponent, causing some knockback and some striking damage. You can also use the vine as a grappling hook to get back up stage, like Joker's microphone from Smash Brothers. Her down special is Rock Hockey Puck Shoot, where Red slaps a bunch of rock hockey pucks at the opponent with her rock hockey stick, causing a lot of stun and striking damage. Rock hockey, if you don't know, is basically the Fraggle Rock sport, but replace hockey pucks with rocks. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. And for her special, it's Let's Party! The opponent gets whacked by Sprocket into Fraggle Rock, where the Fraggles all start partying and are accidentally pushed near the water, where Red tackles the opponent into the water, and then the water flushes them down to the Gorg's garden, where they are thumped by Junior Gorg and put in a cage, thus making the opponent a prisoner of the Gorg so they can bow, curtsy, and grovel to them for their whole lives. This is a reference to the episode Wembley and the Gorgs, where that exact thing happens. Alright, so that was the roster for the game, but what about stages? Well, of course, there's going to be a lot of stages. There's going to be the Muppet Show stage, there's going to be Sesame Street, there's going to be Fraggle Rock, there's going to be a lot of stages based on various Muppet productions, including the Lab for Muppets from Space, with Dr. Van Neuter in the background, Muppets Tonight set, probably the Muppets Treasure Island Battleship with Kermit and Long John Silver getting into a fight in the background, you know, that kind of stuff. I think it'd be pretty fun. As for alternate costumes, oh god, there's so many to choose from, and I think it'd be a gold mine here, because you have so many projects to choose and reference which costumes are from. Like, I think it'd be cool to have Gonzo in many of his suits from the various Muppet movies he's in, and I also think it'd be cool for Fozzie to have his Fezziwig outfit from Muppet Christmas Carol, or maybe you could have Kermit have his Bob Cratchit outfit from Muppet Christmas Carol. You know, it's limitless potential here. Hell, you could even have Senor Doppelsticky be an alternate skin for Pepe. I think that'd be hilarious, just him fighting as a stick figure while everybody else is all there. As for specific gameplay inspirations, it would probably be inspired by Power Stone, while the movesets are very much inspired by Smash. I always loved 3D Arena Fighters, and, you know, I think maybe 3D Arena Fighters are really underrated, but that's just me, and, well, I think that genre fits well for the Muppets, seeing as how there's a lot of weapons you can grab, like fish, and, I don't know, chickens, just random wacky stuff like that I feel would make a fighting game, you know, fun. And as for the story mode, I came up with a story where it's like Gonzo and Rizzo are playing a game on a computer, and an original villain basically sucks the entire Muppets in and forces them to fight for his amusement so they could get to, you know... So Kermit has to get to the main villain, so Kermit and the others have to get to the main villain, and essentially what happens is that Gonzo and Rizzo also have to fix their mess by fighting everyone they know and love and everything. It's a ridiculous story, but told in a way that's very, you know, Muppety and on brand. And I think calling the original bad guy, you know, Mr. Game or something like that would be neat, something Muppety like that. I don't know, I think it'd be cool. As for the title, it's time to fight the Muppets. Yeah, that's pretty much the title I'm going for, and I really like that title. I think it's really cool. And the cover should be Miss Piggy beating up all the Muppets, because I think that sounds insanely funny. But yeah, that was my Muppet fighting game idea. I really hope you guys all stuck around for it, and, you know, I really enjoy fighting games. I really enjoy the Muppets, so doing this really was a dream come true. Would you want a game like this? I know I would. I don't think Disney would, seeing as how they don't really like seeing their characters fight, but I think it's a really fun idea and really should be explored, and I just hope the Muppets get more video games, because we just got the Sabrina Carpenter special, and then after that we also got, you know, we're also getting the Electric Mayhem roller coaster. Yes, that's pretty exciting, and hopefully we're getting the Muppet Show this year, fingers crossed. So yeah, I'm really hoping we do get that. And I just, made this idea for fun, and I really like doing it. And yeah, so like and subscribe. And I'm just gonna ask this question: would you guys want a Muppet fighting game or not? If so, what would you do with it? And just leave your thoughts down below. And this is Jack Collins signing off and saying, "Waka waka." And life's like a video, make your own ending, keep believing, keep pretending, that's what I really set out to do, for the lovers, the dreamers, and you. I think that went off without a hitch, that was pretty good. But yeah, that's the end. See you in the next video. Hey guys, Jack Collins here with a quick editor's note. Actually, the thumbnail was a drawing request by Miles John, and I liked it so much that I wanted to put it in the thumbnail. Now, for those who don't know, Miles John is an amazing animator slash cartoonist, and he is a really funny, and I love his videos, and I think he's just a great and talented animator and a really funny person. And here's hoping that uh, whatever cartoons he makes, it's going to be exciting, and I'm really excited for a lot of stuff in development, including the cartoon known as Dracula 4, A Date with Destiny, and I'm very excited for Frank, so be on the lookout for those two cartoons and subscribe to his channel. This is Jack Collins signing off, and yeah, I like a Philly cheesesteak too, Miles.